Hi Gemini, welcome for your twin flame update. This is for you guys who have no contact or have some. It's to show the energy between the both of you. Now I have created videos that are very separate and they're toolkits for you to actually reach union. So if you're a twin flame and you're new, a very warm welcome. Now I will be every second week I will be live on this new channel. And it will be to do the workshops basically, to answer any of your questions, connect the dots with the astrology, help you through the aspect of your transformation with some of you, depending on what wave you are, you may still be in the aspect of the dark night of the soul, ascension. Now, some readers state that that's not so, but again, it does depend on what wave you are. Now, a lot of times with ascension, when we have blocks, we can actually shut it down and it can open back up again. Again, if you're new, the booking system is directly below. Although this is a new channel, I do have another channel. The link for the other channel will be inside the actual link inside this video. It's YILDIZ Readings. I cover astrology on that side and the general aspects of life. But on this channel, it will be for your blocks, the current energy between you and your twin flame. And how it's actually transforming. And I did, previous videos were on the opposite channel in relation to the twin flame path. Now, what I was seeing, psychically speaking, a lot of transformations happening as of December 2019. Now, with that aspect, a lot are going through a transformation in this month as well. So if your twin is currently still in a karmic connection, that may start to break down around the lunar eclipses. Now, I believe the 6th of January, we have a partial eclipse and we have a total lunar eclipse on the 20th, but I will do the toolkits for each zodiac sign separately. If I have run out of time, I will actually do them live so I can interact with you guys. But again, during the month I will be live. I will put a notification up that I'm coming live to you and we can interact and talk about the aspects of the astrology and how individually for you moving through your personal transformation to get to that point where you can reach union. For those of you who don't know, I'm a psychic medium as well as I am a twin flame. And we'll get into your read. So this is more the energy, okay? It's not a given that that's how it's remaining. It's an energy that you can currently work with to have an understanding, especially even if you're choosing to be on a soulmate path. When you're having transformations, knowing what's going on with your twin so you don't feel you're going loco, can actually help you ground yourself in. So you'll get a read at the beginning of the month and mid-month and live sessions. Now the first energy coming in for you personally, this can be in relation to your twin, and again the energies can swap, especially since we're moving into duality. A lot of us who have done the work in 2019 will cope with the frequency. Now you're going to need to keep quite grounded in a sense that January is pretty hectic. Hectic in a sense of transformation. Hectic in a sense that with the partial eclipse, usually eclipses do transform the energy to a point where something's set in stone of an undertone of a frequency you'll be dealing with for the next 6 months. Now we've got a partial and a total, and they're super moons at that. So the energy for trigger points for those of you can be quite high. My highest suggestion is with your chakras to actually align them. That can be through, getting into light body frequency, definitely using sort of the colors of the chakra and food groups and meditation to get you grounded prior to the eclipse, to help you through the aspect of the transformation and to be prepared for what's coming. Now, really on your mind is, there might be energies coming towards you in a sense of a romantic gesture. Now, this can be your thought process connected to your twin or directly yours. Again, as I said, the energies can shift, so connect the dots to how it connects within your path. For those of you who are getting offers, it may be making you tempted or anxious, but you're also not being manipulated. So you're assessing the entire situation in a very rational manner. Now, Jupiter energetically is moving forward. That can make us feel like we want to hurry things along. Now, this is in connection to a loving connection. So this can be directly your twin or another individual or both. But you're trying to decipher between two paths, or, you know, are you going to be able to trust this individual? And questioning yourself, especially since self is really promoted in 2019, having a sense of self, if you've done the work in 2018, 2019, will be a little bit easier to cope with, because you will have those healthy boundaries. Now, again, if you've got blocks, all the tools I'm going to put on the website, on the channel, connected to astrology, connected to twin flame path, sign synchronicities, numerology, chakra alignment. So it's going to be there. It's going to take me a little bit of time, but those toolkits are there. And I will work with you in the workshop sections to help you understand the power you have to reach union. So you're being very cautious, you're being very mindful. Now, in relation to you reaching union, it's interesting because the same situation's happening on your twin side. You feel like you're holding on, okay? Now, it can be at a very light frequency. Again, it does depend on how you've evolved. Each person on their own spiritual path is very individual. Some of you may be in that lower frequency, feeling very fatigued from last year. Others of you might be coming to a state where you're more in light body frequency and you're accepting of what's going to be is going to be, and you're trusting in the process that you can reach this potential. Some of you, again, may be in communication, and this is where the frequency has lightened up, but at a 3D level, you're directly dealing with things very separately to twin, which is part of the twin flame path. You dealing with your 3D, you doing the work within your own soul energy. Around the 6, especially being in Capricorn energy, we're going to really be questioning our third eye. So that can be a lot of third eye energy work that you're going to be doing, but you're trying to manifest this energy in at the same time is allowing it to transform naturally. Now, where you're not wanting to be manipulated, your twin really is, they've gone through the aspect of the dark night of the soul. They're coming to a place where they're preparing at a 3D level and a 5D spiritually to move beyond the 4D frequency of fair base. Okay, so they're more in that ready state. And again, if you're cross-watching, you are both looking like you are doing the work on yourselves and in alignment with what is needing to move forward. Now, what is on your twin's mind, interestingly enough, in the same connection and within their own life, because these energies are your own energies within your own life, as well as the interesting factor that you're both thinking about each other. I have pulled the cards for, can't make it up. I have pulled the cards in between for the intentions together and, what's blocking you. Now, what's on your twin's mind in relation to being ready is reunion, okay? So they're wanting this. And you're thinking about taking the connection to the next level, hoping that this is possible. Synchronistically speaking, the both of you are very telepathically connected at the moment, which is interesting because the moon energy is connected to third eye chakra and feminine energy. Now, where you're not wanting to be manipulated, but they're still also wanting reunion. They understand and you understand. It's like, do I trust this person? Can I trust them? Well, the question isn't can you trust them? It's can you trust yourself? Really, as I said, 2019 is about having that self-awareness within yourself that you can make a choice and it's no wrong choice. It's whatever you feel spiritually is correct for you, as well as whether you feel you've done enough work on yourself at a 3D level to be able to cope with whatever comes. No expectations, just going into it in light body frequency, which does bode better in any connection. Now, where you're considering the aspect that you're hoping that this can reach a connection, they're thinking about union and they've come out of a mental prison, okay? They really want to take this to the next level. If your Kundalini is really heating up around this time, do be prepared. For you personally, Gemini, you might be dealing with maybe some trigger points that are 3D in your own personal life, thinking back to what was taken, thinking back to, you know, the fact that it never ended, but it wasn't there with you. And what love is, you know, sometimes we can sort of have this notion that because we don't have that person with us, that it means there's no longer love. But really, sometimes with the time frame apart, once you move through the pain body experience, you do understand that you're never directly separate from them. And I feel it's this spiritual understanding that no matter what you're doing, their energy will impact you in some shape or form. The lighter you become and the more in control of your own telepathic connection, anchoring your own energy in, keeping grounded through retrogrades, you know, your ascension, it's going to help you cope with the frequencies, but you directly are very tuned into your twin. You also energetically know that your twin is working on their financial aspects. Maybe they were working too hard. Maybe they were focused too much on one direct thing. Maybe internally what they're trying to find is the internal abundance, not just the external. And I feel this is what they're going to discover. And again, the energies can go back and forward. For you personally, you're trying to keep very balanced. You're not wanting to get too attached. It's like I hear that you're trying to change the way in which you were connecting to them previously, in any shape or form, be it you've taken it to that next level with your twin, or they're in a karmic connection. However it goes, you're trying to be very balanced. You're also not trying to look at what you can lose, but you're definitely trying to be balanced in the way you're approaching the situation. And you understand that, you know, really your twin may feel that you're very focused on your job, or the energy could be directly in their life, they're very focused on that. And you could be having an aspect of mirroring going on, really trying to seek that internal abundance. They're realizing, again, which is what I said prior to pulling the clarification card, they're realizing the internal abundance is as important as the external. So it might be over the Christmas, New Year's break, they've had that time to actually reflect upon that. They've had a little bit of time off, and some of them I feel haven't had work. Some of them are trying to get back on track with the financial aspects to get grounded, to be able to offer something. Now, in their life, they do have stagnation, but they're aware that this is important. So it's a time of meditation. Towards the total eclipse, you will find a lot of transformations do come through. And this is at a very fast-paced frequency. It's very sharp, abrupt changes because it is a total eclipse. The stagnation is connected to an old way of doing something or an older person. This can be responsibilities they're physically having in their own 3D life, or a block spiritually they had connected to kin, which is interesting because moon energy can be connected to, especially where the placement is family related dynamics. Perhaps even a sick relative. So they can be very tuned into a relative and trying to balance something at the moment. So it's a temporary halt, but it is still movement forward. But part of this is a karmic spiritual lesson for them to heal and purge. And you may find that you've experienced this previously. So you may be experiencing their energy while you're directly dealing with your 3D life. So I'd say in the first few weeks, because this is for 2 weeks, although I may be inclined, depending on which video has been watched the most, to do an update with particular videos. I'm feeling as though you may by the second week have an energy, or during that time, of something going on, not only on your side of the fence, but spiritually from your twin side. Now, you can be also dealing with contracts, legalities. Read the fine print I'm being shown. Really read the fine print, because your fair-based frequencies are based on fair. They're not based on reality. It's more, you know, by you actually addressing those aspects, it's going to help you move physically forward. These loose ends that both of you are tying up are actually assisting in union. So anything that's shown to you in the 3D can be something that needs to be dealt with. Some of you may have already left a karmic relationship, and you hadn't finalized aspects of divorce, especially with the contract coming up. Others of you might be aware that your twin is currently going through this, but it's something connected to a relationship, either within your twin flame connection, you know, tying up loose ends and contracts, as I mentioned before I pulled the clarifier, or directly you are needing to have a severing of ties in an aspect of a contract, and that's the delay. And interestingly enough, your twin is having a DNA related dynamic going on that is holding both of you up. Now, try not to get triggered in relation to communication, because it's not what it seems. The intent is there, but with both of you having dynamics going on at the moment, this is the hold up with the situation. For them, it can be also that finances are going to change and stability is returning. And this is where I feel they're going to be more open to romance. It's what they're trying to achieve, because they do have they've got the prosperity and stability. This can be inheritance, sorry to say. Can be aspects of inheritance after a person has passed, or just in general them becoming more balanced when some of their burdens are actually tied up and this person recovers. You will have communication in relation to this offer, okay? And it's not through employment that this money is coming through. So yes, I would say it's through maybe a family legacy, and it can be past tense, very well and truly past tense. But this is spiritually healing. I'll pull another clarifier on that. Pick another deck. What is this energy? I feel in some shape or form the energy of your twin, and it'll be individual for each zodiac sign, so go cross-reference. Some of them, it may be that this person is their own worst enemy, and I'm not talking about your twin, I'm talking about the family member. This can even be an ex, but I feel it's more a family member. Others may not have been seeing eye to eye, so an aspect of that is healing in a sense. It's providing an opportunity to resolve a situation, to be more in light body frequency, to move forward. And it can be conversations about a lack of consistency and where it all stemmed from and the reasons why they've been unable to move forward towards you. Now, the energy between you, both of you are tired of it being the same, okay? Whatever you're doing very separately, you're trying to get mundane tasks sorted. It's not that you want to be away from each other. Some of you do, but it's more generally when we're in that frequency, it's more from an aspect that, how do I put it? We're in pain body. So when we're in pain body, it can be frustrating because we're finalizing things. And again, it's trying to unable to make a judgment due to the fact that some mundane tasks need dealing with. Now, some of you also may be having, a lack of ability to travel towards each other. But that's coming to an end, okay? Some of you, again, may be having transport-related dynamics, loss of license, etc. Again, I'm feeling it's more the frustration with having to end tasks in order to move forward. But the next card you've got is freedom. So some of you are, on both sides, really, because this is the energy between you. Both of you energetically are trying to lighten the load in order to move forward. January is going to be good for that. There is hope. There can be justice coming through with that frequency. I also know that you're very independent. Both of you are very, very independent separately. Both of you are feeling that, once you're centered, the offer can come in and you would be more inclined to accept it. So whatever was wrong previously within the connection, I feel they energetically, on top of what they're dealing with at a 3D level, they're directly trying to deal with those conflicts. That can be their internal demons. And again, it can be both sides. So whatever you guys were feeling was the block. Usually when we're in connection and then come out of connection, whether you deem it as, you know, you didn't become intimate with your twin, or you didn't move into the connection directly with twin, but you had this awareness of the spiritual connection. However it goes, with what's happening, it feels as though the energies of what the blocks were directly after, what you usually find is you tend to get an example of how you were towards twin and how they were towards you outside of yourself and outside of the connection after the fact. So that time frame you tend to spend away from each other is like going to school. And it can be a painful school, but through that process, you definitely have mass shifts and transformations. And there's no way energetically either side cannot change. And that's because that's part of your spiritual energy. Really moving into 2019, we have K2 and Rahu, which is, you know, the balance of the frequency of give and take, as well as, you know, any injustices to bring it to balance. And it's moving all the way through to July, which is interesting because mid-year we do have a big lump of retrograde planets around the time we're having more eclipses. So mass transformations can come at that time, but I will give you warning ahead of that. I just feel very separately they're trying to tie those loose ends up to spiritually move forward. Okay, so they are looking at, you know, both of you are looking at the, you're going to locate the innocence within the connection again. Sorry if that's glaring. Not feeling home within that, but having an understanding and compassion through it. So whatever's going to come up in a sense of for you to heal, separate to twin, is going to aid in the reconnection. Again, I am feeling anyone who's manipulating you, especially on your side, Gemini, this can be a past tense person if some of you were connected. I'm feeling you're leaving something behind. It can be a notion of what connections are, which is very interesting in a twin flame journey because we get to that. You know, you might have wanted babies, you might have wanted to be married, and then as it goes on, you just want to be at peace with your twin. So it does really break all the paradigms down to a point where you just want things to be simple. And I feel some of you who energetically left a karmic separate to twin, you're ready to finalize that frequency. Others of you, it's your mindset connected to connections and coming back to your sense of self. But also try not to have the push and pull within the connection, because that can delay reunion. Any push and pull you feel within the connection, try and locate it and do the work in that. That balances it out. Be it you feel that your twin betrayed you or not, you changing your frequency directly attracts a correct frequency towards you. And look, in astrology, they do say, how do I put it? Aspects of manifestation with your name and your birth chart. It holds a current frequency. To change the frequency of numerology in your name, you would physically need to change your name and write that name over and over again. So it imprints in you to transfer that frequency over. So, you know, we can come in anger and hurt, but if we remain in that frequency, it takes a very long time to kind of get that off you as in a tag for it to spiritually be latching onto you like a negative energy. So it's very important for you to do the work in that area so you're not directly attracting it. Even if you're so in pain body experience with the longing for your twin, if you can't remove that frequency, what happens is you don't attract a high vibration soulmate. So regardless of if you do want your twin or don't, try and do the work in it, or come through, you know, and do the workshops with us, so that you can get yourself in alignment and you can choose spiritually what's right for you. Again, a separate video will be for the workshops of what you're needing to do, maybe some toolkits, how to help you through the astrology aspect of things. And again, I will come to you live during the month. So I'll put a notification up and I'll come live, and I do give away a free 1 hour reading per channel, because I give one away on each channel every month. How long that's for depends on how busy I get. Obviously running 2 YouTube channels, but a separate toolkit as per se will be connected separately. So go and have a look at that for your zodiac sign, which will help you do aspects of work, be prepared to raise your vibration for union. Love and light.